When I'm reading a good book, I find it impossible to put it down.
On 2020 Friday, he's taken on the mob, busted Wall Street. Now America's #1 crime fighter comes clean.
I really do believe that confession is good for the soul.
Plus, if your kid is a bully, he's more likely to end up in jail as an adult. How to turn him around before it's too late on 2020 Friday.
News tonight, some American inmates at the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary have been moved out of Georgia. And relatives of some Cuban inmates go on the radio to ask the prisoners to surrender.
Race car driver Bill Elliott is involved in a mid-air collision in which no one was hurt.
Our special assignment report tonight focuses on adult entertainment and how some strip clubs are trying to improve their image. Good evening, I'm Don Farmer.
And I'm Monica Kaufman. Those stories plus Glenn Burns with the Thanksgiving forecast, and Chuck Dowdle has the sports next on Action News.
I had a real problem with tartar on my teeth. The hygienist would have to work super hard to clean my teeth. It was like I had a concrete on the bottom and she had to chip away at it. And she recommended that I start using the Crest Tartar Control. After a year or two of using the Tartar Control Crest, going back for my checkups was so pain-free and painless. It's effective. When they say it's Tartar Control toothpaste, that's what they mean, it's Tartar Control toothpaste. Yes, I have proof that it works. You gotta look at my teeth.
The ghost of Alexander Graham Bell.
A cordless telephone with a two-way intercom that folds to fit in one's pocket. From Panasonic, a phone with a one-button digital answering machine and message transfer. From Panasonic, a phone system with a built-in answering machine and fax machine. Panasonic.
For telephones you can't get from the phone company,
Call Panasonic.
From WSB-TV, Atlanta, Georgia's news leader. This is Channel 2's Action News with Don Farmer, Monica Kaufman, Chuck Dowdle Sports, Glenn Burns Weather, and the Action News team.
Relatives of Cuban inmates go on the radio. They plead with the prisoners to end their siege at the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary. The prison riot is our top story again tonight. Good evening, I'm Monica Kaufman.
And I'm Don Farmer. The latest development is the removal of 149 American inmates from the prison. They were taken to Dobbins Air Force Base tonight to be transferred to other federal prisons around the country. Apparently, that's to allow officials to house the Cuban inmates who are surrendering in a separate and safe place inside the prison.
Our Joyce Oscar is at the penitentiary right now with the very latest. Joyce.
Well, Don and Monica, about a half hour ago, we learned by monitoring a two-way radio from inside the prison that the Cuban inmates are ready to start negotiating again. They said they would be willing to release a limited number of the 75 hostages that remain inside, but they said they want a Spanish-speaking journalist or Congressman John Lewis to come in and act as a mediator. Now, Congressman Lewis has been out here throughout most of this, but he did go home to get some rest, so we haven't been able to get any comment from him. The prisoners also say they're willing to wait it out and they have as much time as anybody. So that's the latest word from inside the prison. And as you said earlier, busloads of inmates have been leaving, and officials say those inmates are American. This is the second two busloads of inmates to leave the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary. As of tonight, prison officials say 149 American prisoners will have been taken out of this prison. 315 Cuban and American prisoners reportedly did not want to take part in this siege, now into its second night. During the evening, moments of stillness here almost seem eerie. The only activity, SWAT teams apparently changing shifts. A second person was removed from the prison by ambulance this evening. Earlier, a guard with a medical problem was taken to a hospital. He has reportedly been released. Fire officials continue their vigil here, relieving crews throughout the night. Fire Chief Larry Tanner says smoke that continues to hover around the prison, getting heavier at times, will continue to be seen here.
Unfortunately, you're probably going to see that until the thing is terminated. The building, as it collapses into itself, leaves a lot of unburned timbers and fuels at the bottom of the pile, which are going to smolder. It could smolder for quite some time.
Members of the Spanish community gathered tonight for a candlelight vigil to sing and pray for an end to the turmoil inside the prison walls.
No one is Number one news. Here we are. Number one news. Number one news. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, let's go.
Now, just a few minutes ago, the buses that had left with the inmates are back. We are not sure whether they are picking up more inmates or what the situation is. Prison officials say as of tonight, there will be only 50 American inmates left here at the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary. Don and Monica.
All right, thank you very much, Joyce Oscar, for that live report. For 2 days now, the wives and other relatives of the Cubans inside the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary have been waiting anxiously for some word on the safety of their loved ones. Tonight, some of those wives got their first chance to communicate with their husbands inside. They did this through an Atlanta radio program. Channel 2's Bill Nighat has an exclusive report.
This is WRFG Atlanta, the Latin son of the city.
For 4 years, Ernesto Perez's Tuesday night radio program has been a favorite of Cuban detainees in the Atlanta Penitentiary. On this Tuesday evening, Perez gave the wives of Cuban prisoners their first chance since the riots began to communicate directly with their husbands.
Yo sé que tú no estás en nada, que tú no has tenido que ver con esa violencia.